Hello everyone, welcome back to Believers IAS Academy Bengaluru. This is topic of the day. Today we'll discuss a very important topic. We all know COVID-19 happened. There were lockdowns, there were quarantines, there are lots of effects of COVID-19 both on economy, both on health, both on various aspects of society, economically, politically, and there were lots of blame games which happened at the global level. So all those were implications which we have studied already. But now recently there was a study which studied about the long-term effects of COVID-19. And in this study, there were some very peculiar findings which are going to shock you. So all those findings are related to brain, related to different socio-economic factors, related to male and female. All these findings we are going to discuss in today's video. So very important topic. Make note of important points which I am going to tell you today. So in syllabus, it comes under UPSC, GS2, public health policy, disease burden, healthcare infrastructure. So the key findings of the new study is that COVID-19 and the pandemic environment have accelerated brain aging by 5 to 6 months on an average. Okay, so COVID-19 along with death and increased morbidity, it is also impacting your brain health as well. Okay, so people who were victims of this COVID-19 are going to have implications on their brain death. Sorry, not brain death, their brain age. So they have accelerated brain aging by 5.5 months on an average. Effects are stronger in men and those who are from lower socioeconomic backgrounds. Both direct viral effects and psychological stress have contributed to this one. Okay, so normally on an average what happens with the human body is that, so if this is the graph, if this is the age group, okay, if this is 3, 6, 9, 12, 18, sorry 15, 18, so this is the age group. Okay, so normally how the growth happens here is, in human beings the growth goes like this. So there will be first sprout which happens around 4 to 6 years of age, and then the body goes on increasing, and then again at the age of 14 to 18 there will be second sprout, growth spurt, so meaning the height suddenly increases and then it goes on increasing, and then at an age it plateaus. This is the normal genetic potential of the growth of human beings. What happens in certain cases is, suppose an individual, a person who is subjected to certain malnutrition. So during the malnutrition, during this growth spurt, the growth spurt will be lower. Due to malnutrition, again in this area, the growth spurt will be lower. So the same thing happens over the period of time, and they fail to reach this genetic potential. Now, along with this malnutrition, now add the effects of COVID-19. The growth will be even lower growth, and finally it will result in lower genetic potential, or not able to achieve the genetic potential, and the growth will be very lower. Now along with this COVID-19, add psychological stress. So this psychological stress has again reduced the growth. Now they are at this level. Instead of achieving this genetic potential, they are at this level because of combined effect of COVID-19 and psychological stress. If this is the effect on the height or the growth, the effect on the brain damage will be even higher. So normally brain damage or brain aging will go like this, lower aging, but because of COVID-19 it is high. Now because of stress it is even at a higher rate. So this is how the COVID-19 as well as the psychological stress has impacted aging. Okay, next. So mechanisms of brain aging. According to this study, the brain aging happened because of various reasons. First is direct viral impact. The direct virus here was SARS-CoV-19. COVID-19 is a neurotropic. What is neurotropic? A virus which can invade brain tissues. It is found in neural tissues up to 230 days post-infection. Persistent immune activation for up to 2.5 years. So these are all important impacts of direct impact of SARS COVID-19 too. Next is psychological stress. During the pandemic years, there were more deaths occurred due to psychological stress rather than the direct impact. So that is what is happening with respect to brain aging as well. Pandemic fear and isolation heightened activity in brain's fear and stress regions. It altered memory and emotional processing, as a result increasing the brain aging. Next is psychological damage. Chronic inflammation damaging the brain cells and blood brain barrier breakdown allowing toxics in. The brain has to have continuous supply of blood. When this continuous supply of blood breaks off, it will result in toxins moving into the brain. When these toxins move into the brain, it will result in aging of brain. That is what happened in the respect to COVID-19. Next, oxygen deprivation, even in the mild cases during the COVID-19, have impacted brain damage severely. Next, immune system attacking healthy brain cells tissues. So these are various reasons how the brain aging has increased by 5 to 6 months over the period of time during the COVID-19. Direct action, psychological stress, and physiological damage. All these things have resulted in brain aging. So if this is the neurodegeneration, the various impacts or the various factors behind the neurodegeneration is, one is aging process, that is body along with the age goes on aging. Okay. Another one is neuron damage because of psychological and physiological, and then infectious factors which are going to impact your brain directly, such as SARS-CoV-2, and then oxidative stress, neuroinflammation, vascular damage, that is when the vascular damage happens, the blood supply to the brain reduces, then neurotransmitters, and next is genetic variants. In certain genetic variants, there are certain diseases which are going to impact your brain directly. Next is cognitive impairment. Cognitive impairment happens because of various reasons such as malnutrition, such as diseases and other factors. All these factors lead to neurodegeneration. Among these, infectious factors, oxidative stress and vascular damage are direct impact of COVID-19. Okay. Next, what is the impact on different populations? Okay, the impact was not homogeneous. The impact was not uniform throughout all the populations. It impacted various populations differently. In patients who were victims of COVID-19 for a longer period of time, 10% of all the infected were long COVID patients and 50 to 70% of them were hospitalized. And the symptoms were brain fog, memory issues, poor concentration and fatigue. These are the symptoms in long COVID patients. Cognitive decline measurable in brain scans. When you scan the brain of the long COVID patients, it resulted in reduction in cognitive decline. Okay. Next, in adolescents, it accelerated the brain damage by 5 to 6 months. In teenage girls, changes in 30 brain regions up to 4 to 4.2 years accelerated aging in females, linked to anxiety, depression and disrupted development during the COVID-19 years. Next is hospitalized patients, persisting brain damage and higher mortality rates even after 3 years. So the impact was not uniform, it impacted different patients differently. Next is the long-term outcomes of the COVID-19 is, in mild COVIDs, it increased the death risk. The increased death risk disappears after 1 year, meaning the people who are suffering from COVID-19 have higher chances of death in the initial 1 year. After that, that death or the chances of death goes on decreasing. Symptoms largely improve over time. Next, in severe COVID-19 patients, long-lasting cognitive deficits, ongoing elevated mortality risk. Okay. Next, treatment and hope. How are you going to treat this brain degeneration? By integrative neuro rehabilitation. Combines neurotechnology plus holistic therapies, shows promise in slowing or reversing brain aging in the long COVID cases. So we have to hope and we have to believe that this neuro rehabilitation is going to reduce that brain aging and de-age the brain again. Okay. So implications: brain health should be a priority in pandemic recovery plans. Need for coordinated medical research and multidisciplinary care, and estimated 65 million people worldwide were living with long COVID-19 symptoms. So they have to be taken priority, and their brain health should be considered as a priority. Okay, so this is one of the impacts of COVID-19. Along with all the death and destruction it caused, it also has long-term implications with respect to brain damage. So this is the topic for the day. Hope you find it interesting and hope you find it useful. So if you like the video, then please hit the like button, comment on it, and also share with your friends. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon so that you don't miss a notification. With this, I will end the video. Jai Hind.